My name is Pompoko. Have a developmental disability. I have various sensory characteristics that others do not understand. In a school and society where no one understood me, even if I was good at something, I couldn't make use of it in society, and I had no hope for my life.
That's when I found something unbelievable on the internet.
It is said that there is a cutting-edge treatment that cures developmental disorders.
The name of the treatment was called TMS treatment.
I was in despair of my life.
I was filled with anticipation of what kind of life awaited me when this disorder was cured.
So, what exactly is TMS treatment? I looked into TMS treatment. It is an abbreviation for transcranial magnetic stimulation.
To put it simply, it is a treatment that refreshes the brain by applying magnetic stimulation to a part of the brain called the frontal lobe on the forehead, trimming the mixed lines of the nerves in the brain. According to the clinic's website, when the nerves of the brain are entangled, a phenomenon called mind wandering occurs in which thoughts are not coherent. By stimulating with TMS treatment, nerve entanglement is eliminated and people are able to think smoothly. This state is called mindfulness. There is empirical data on the reduction of severe depression that could not be cured by medication, and it is said to be effective for developmental disorders. In the first place, it is decided which part of the brain has what function. The ability to hold information for a short period of time and process it at the same time is called working memory. The frontal lobe has this function of working memory and the function of controlling emotions.
These functions are precisely the weak areas of developmental disorders. In other words, the cause of the developmental disorder may be a dysfunction of the frontal lobe. Upon further investigation, it was even published as an autism treatment record that said that autism was cured by TMS treatment.
The book was written by a man named John Elder Robison. It is a book called If You Can Hear People's Feelings. In this story, a man with Asperger's syndrome who cannot understand people's feelings became a test bed for TMS treatment. He will be able to read people's emotions. It was written that even the way he communicated had changed. He will be able to notice the teasing of your friends that you did not notice before. He says that his relationships have also changed a lot. Some of you may think this when you hear this story. That's right, the real version of A Bouquet for Algernon. A Bouquet of Flowers for Algernon. A fiction novel by science fiction novelist Daniel Keyes. It is a story about a man with an intellectual disability who becomes a genius through surgery. As my intelligence gradually improved, I realized how badly I had been treated by people with disabilities that I had not noticed before.
The intelligence of the doctor who performed the operation on him is also surpassed, and he becomes unable to trust people. The ending of the novel is sad, but there is even a treatment record for Asperger's syndrome based on a true story, and the doctor's explanation at the TMS treatment clinic is very convincing. So, I decided to pay about 640,000 yen and get TMS treatment. Before the procedure, I underwent a brain measurement test and an interview. By the way, the brain measurement was called the QEEG test, and it cost about 20,000 yen. In the interview, he talked in detail about his symptoms from childhood. I was also asked to use my records of depression many times and the results of intelligence tests taken at other hospitals as diagnostic materials. By the way, my childhood stories are sympathetic to people with developmental disabilities and are often read by parents. It is summarized in another video. For details, please see the special edition in the overview column. Please subscribe to our channel. Finally, the symptoms that I had been struggling with for many years became visible. It is a color indication of the strength of the faction, and it is a diagram seen from the top of the head. Green is normal. My frontal lobe was stained with the strongest red, as shown in the figure on the left. It is quite an outlier, and the brain burden is large. Doctors also have the positive side of being able to think very deeply. I was very convinced because the symptoms that the doctor explained one after another were symptoms that I had been aware of since I was a child, but they were all symptoms that no one around me understood. The figure on the right shows the amount of information exchanged in the brain. This is an unusually large amount of information even among patients, and it seems that they call it circular thinking.
Doctors also have the positive side of being able to think very deeply.
I've always been a cautious person, and I've been able to get through my life with ADHD. I think it was thanks to this kind of deep thinking ability. So I was very convinced by this explanation. In summary, I was diagnosed with the following 4 symptoms. 1. Zone of ASD. 2. The gray area of ADHD. 3. Depressive tendencies. For hypersomnia. ASD is the old term for Asperger's syndrome. The gray area of ADHD means that there is a possibility of ADHD. The clinic's diagnostic criteria are whether or not a person is able to live a normal life. I've never had a normal life. I have a history of going to work every day and going to school. I was told that it was indicated by the term gray area, including not only brain waves but also the results of medical interviews. My symptoms are quite severe in my daily life, so it was quite severe even in the gray area. 3. The depression is a tendency to think in circles. For hypersomnia is not about sleeping too much. Even when I was asleep, I couldn't fall into a deep sleep. It is a symptom that continues to be in a hazy state like a dream even when you are awake. Even though I measured my brain when I was awake. It is said that the brain that originally comes out when sleeping was measured. ADHD is a concomitant sleep disorder.
They feel dazed and chronically tired.
Now that I'm satisfied with this diagnosis, it's time to. You will face a treatment that will change your brain. To be continued in the second part. Please subscribe to the channel and wait. This channel provides cutting-edge information on the brain that is effective for developmental disorders.